Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I just want to sit down and share with you my thoughts and feelings on an emerging story that's coming out of the Korean sunscreen scandal. If you remember, a few weeks ago we had the issue with Purito, where their sunscreen was advertised as a 50 plus and was tested to be below that in the region of about 19 to 28 in terms of the SPF protection factor. That left a lot of people shocked and questioning in general Korean sunscreens, but also those lightweight lotion sunscreens, which we've all known and loved, but we're wondering, are any of them living up to the protection? On the back of that, Purito issued some statements, refunds, and just acted in exactly the way you would expect a professional, gold standard company to react. I actually have come out of this whole thing with more respect for Purito than I went in with, and I shared that in a video recently, which I'll leave a link to up there. Not all companies, though, have actually behaved in what I call a responsible and reasonable, rational way on the back of this. I understand how a lot of Korean sunscreen manufacturers are feeling a little bit of the heat, feeling a bit under pressure, maybe a little bit attacked by all of this and some of the concerns people are raising. You could take the Purito approach and be professional, kind, considerate, understand your consumer, and act in a responsible business-like way, or you could do the rest and you can issue threats, legal action, intimidation, all the bad stuff you don't want. I actually covered this in a video, which I'll leave a link to up there, because it's worth checking that video out before you continue with this, because this video very much leads on from that. In that video, I shared an email which was going around from a Korean skincare company threatening and intimidating people that dared to suggest in any way that their SPF was falling below the SPF that was advertised on their brand. I decided in that video not to name and shame, to actually call out that company. I said, let's wait for the test on their SPF to actually come through and then I'll name and shame. I've had, since that video, had some conversations with influencers here on YouTube and on Instagram and content creators in general. People have been sharing with me their stories and I am appalled, and I just want to take a stock and think, actually I think I was wrong in that video to not name and shame, because this isn't about the SPF value, whether it's the SPF it says or whether it's not. Who actually cares? It's about the way you approach business and your dealings with your consumer base. And so I actually wanted to sit down, share with you some of the experiences that I've learned over the past week, and to actually share with you the name of that company, which most of you have guessed, but it was Keep Cool and Soothe. They of course have their iconic Keep Cool and Soothe bamboo essence. This sun cream was like huge in 2020. It was one of the Instagram cult favorites. Everybody was going on about how gorgeous it felt on the skin, how no white cast, blended into the skin beautifully, and was a pleasure to use. People fell hard. I actually enjoyed the product. I reviewed it and said I enjoyed the product. However, Keep Cool and Soothe, for me, never again. I just think as a brand, just so terrible. I want to share with you why I think we should all take pause and think about whether we ever actually want to purchase from this brand again, however good or bad their products are, whether the ethics and the way that their brand approaches things is worth us. For me, let's take it right back. Last week, what triggered this change of heart in terms of naming and shaming was a week ago, I had a conversation with a young influencer over on Instagram. She just started her channel between studying around 6 months ago and had grown it to 2,000 followers, which actually is no mean feat. It's actually quite a struggle to grow your channel. You've got to put a lot of effort in. She very clearly put a lot of effort into this. Her life dream was to become, big on Instagram and to be able to share her skincare loves and passions on her Instagram channel. Now, I think everybody has a dream. We all have a dream. You look inside yourself, everybody has a dream. Some of them are easy to achieve and goals and ambitions. Some of them are absolutely ridiculous. But who are we to question people's dreams and goals? And her goal was to be big on Instagram. And I think that is, if that's your goal and what drives you, it's absolutely fantastic. And she put so much work into this. And when we were talking about, she received an email from Keep Cool and Soothe. And on the back of that, she deleted her Instagram channel. And she shared with me the fear and what she's been going through as an individual and how difficult it had been from her since receiving that email. I received a similar email and it's water off a duck's back. I'm an old hand at this. I've been around the block a while. I'm an old hand. Do you know what? I laughed at it when I got it, because you don't send legal threats and intimidation from your PR team. You send it from your legal team. Also, it's the worst way of doing PR. That PR team should be sacked en masse, because it's the worst way of doing PR. I got it. I laughed. I was like, yeah, shot, whatever. I just think it's pathetic, and there was literally no reason for it, and didn't move on. This actually really worried this individual, and she said she had sleepless nights, not only because she was worried about her own legal position, she was worried that she'd be sued and it would fall back on her parents, who could lose their property, and this just, she had so much stress around it. She broke down on the phone, and I'm welling up now thinking about it, because this, to her, this is bullying. This is what it comes down to. This is bullying. And I don't care whether, we've all been victims at some point of bullying, name calling, just things that, and if you think of how that makes you feel, and I'm welling up now because I think This person had her dream crushed by some big company that didn't think twice before firing off that shady email and thought it was acceptable to do that and to crush someone's dream. It's not acceptable. Whether that bullying is name calling in a playground, right the way through to corporate bullying, none of this is acceptable. Bullying should just be stamped out, full stop. And this is what this is. At its basis, this is bullying and intimidation. And I don't want to ever support a company which will be able to do that to people. This person has decided to put her dream on hold. She's going to do something totally different with her life, put her dream on hold because of this one interaction with the company. And I just think this company probably thinks, I'll fire this email out to as many influencers as I can, put the wind up them and stop them actually saying anything negative about our product or maybe suggesting in any way that our product might not be living up to the claims that are made on the bottle. That's okay for them to do because they're living, in some world where they're firing off from keyboard warriors and think it's absolutely fine. It has an impact with the person at the other end. I can laugh it off, which is why I didn't actually name and shame in that last video, because I just thought it was all a bit pathetic and I laughed it off. But then these conversations I've had with people, it breaks my heart that companies feel it's acceptable to do this without thinking of how that impacts the end user and their consumers. So many influencers have been so supportive of this. Sarah over on No BS Beauty, I adore Sarah. I think she's one of the life's gorgeous human beings. Check out her channel, which I'll leave a link to below. Also called this out and went further than I did in that video and said, actually, we're calling this out because this is unacceptable. Named, shamed, and moved on. And I thank her for her support. Similarly, a lot of influencers don't know about some of this going on. So Kelly Driscoll over on her channel, I adore Kelly as well, absolute firm favourite, adore her. She did a review praising Keep Cool and Soothe, and in the comments below lots of people called out and said, you do realise that they're threatening and intimidating people? And she said, no, I had no idea. I'm going to look into this. Thank you so much. Let me do my research, which is absolutely fine. Because, never take people's word for it. Do your research and, get your own receipts for these things. So I do think, a lot of people are wise to this. There have been some other content creators and influencers that have said things like, I heard one say, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. No. Do you know what? We shouldn't have the heat applied. Why is it acceptable to apply the heat in order to stop people sharing their honest opinions about your product? It's not. Freedom of speech doesn't allow you to defame a company. It doesn't allow you to go out and lie about a company and spread untruths about them. But it is okay to say, do you know what? As this girl did, she showed me with me the video that triggered this. Say, actually, I'm going back to using a thicker, more occlusive sunscreen because I just think they're going to provide a better protection than some of the lotion sunscreens that are out there. My confidence in lotion style sunscreens has been shook. That in no way defames a company. It's sharing a personal opinion, and I think it's valid. I don't think there's any science. I think, lotion sunscreens and occlusive ones, they can both, fall foul of these things or deliver in excess of what they claim. There's no science behind it, but it's fine to share your thoughts and feelings on it without having some big corporation, breathing down your neck, threatening you and crushing your dreams. They're probably proud of what they've done. Maybe they think they've nipped this in the bud, but for me, I'll never, ever be supporting this company again. I've always said on this channel, people get second chances. I am far from perfect as a human being. If I look back on my life, there are so many things I would change, and there's so many people who have given me second chances. I'm eternally grateful for that. And I do believe people should always get a second chance, which is why Purito, they failed with their sunscreen. They did the right thing. They came back, and Second Chance Saloon, I think they're a great company, and I have more respect for them now than I did at the start. Same with Naturium. I did a video, which I'll leave a link to up there, saying Naturium, that failed launch was a nightmare. They did the right things. They've come back, and I think they deserve a second look and a second chance. I don't think this company deserves any chances, because in my view, if you want to apologise and move on, that's one thing, but to just double down hard on sending emails, threats and spurious claims is just totally and utterly wrong. All these claims are baseless. I haven't seen anybody actually categorically say the Keep Cool and Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence is below the SPF they claim. Not one person. They clearly, I just think basically, in a nutshell, why I think this is terrible PR is, one, it gets around. People talk and people share. You might never have had an issue with their brand, but you hear about other people's issues and people talk. It's bad PR. Second of all, people think if you're threatening, you have something to hide. Doesn't mean you do, but if you're going to threaten people, why not just release your data? Share it with the world. Why threaten people? I just think it's so tacky. Like I say, I got that email and I laughed about it, which is why when I shared that email, that video I did the other week, I didn't name and shame because I just thought, it's not worth it. For me, this was just a laugh. I looked at them and thought, how pathetic. Move on. But for some people, this really hits home, and the conversations I've had, this has impacted people in a really negative way. And I just think bullying has to stop. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings. I know this is a bit of a Debbie Downer of a video, and I don't want it to be that. And tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing with you my absolute favourite new finds in cruelty-free Korean skincare. Because Korean skincare is still amazing. One bad apple does not poison the whole pot. I love, love, love Korean skincare, and I found some great cruelty-free new launches that I just need to share with you because you guys are gonna love them, love them. Leave me your thoughts and feelings on this. Bullying, like I say, is not acceptable. And I'm going to be donating all the ad revenue from this video to an anti-bullying charity here in the UK because I do think it impacts all of us at some point in our life and it makes us feel like crud, absolute rubbish, and nobody deserves to feel like that, and no company or individual should be able to make someone feel like that. And so I just think if we can give a little bit back, then maybe we'll make a change to just a small person's life. So all the ad revenue from this video will be going to an anti-bullying charity here in the UK, and I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for all your love and support to me. And if you do see anyone else sharing their experience on this, let's be kinder, let's share a bit of love, because you know what, there's a lot going on in the world at the moment. There's a lot of negativity. I'm bringing it back with the positivity tomorrow. That's not going to get away from all the negativity going on. I think we should be building people up. We should be supporting each other and loving each other, not, threatening, intimidating and bullying. So keep cool and soothe. Next, move on, nothing to see here. Doesn't matter what your products are, how good they are, they could change my skin and, be like the elixir of youth, and I would never go anywhere near them again. So share your thoughts and feelings. You obviously don't have to, stop using Keep Cool and Soothe. This is a personal decision. I never tell people that they should or shouldn't buy a product. Use your own judgment and your own personal decision on whether you want to purchase the brand or not. But leave me a comment below and share your thoughts and feelings. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're going through, I'm sending you a huge, huge amount of love and hugs, and to wherever you are in the world. Take care. Bye.